Good evening. My name is Kyle Rogers. I run HK Ventures LLC, and the Bunker Project, 501c3 nonprofit. I've been doing this vlog for about a year now, maybe more. Follow my journey along as I try to keep the nonprofit afloat and try to learn entrepreneurship as a way to do that instead of asking you for donations. Was the whole goal. And having to rely on donations, and those donations haven't added up to what we need. So unfortunately, I've been selling the house in Vegas, and that's, you can go back and watch some previous blogs if you want to see why and all of that. But selling my house in Vegas that I've used for the pilot project, and main reason, it's my personal residence. It was just meant to be a pilot project to see if this nonprofit model could even work, and clearly, at least from what I have found, it does. And so I'll be publishing my dissertation, my PhD dissertation on the nonprofit, kind of showing all of the science that went into why I set it up the way I set it up, that kind of stuff. The learning experience over this last year, what it was like for the veterans in the house. We'll be doing interviews, some in-depth interviews with the veterans who were in the house, ask them about what their experience was like, what their experience was like before they came to the house, and following up, after they've been out away from the house for a while and seeing how they're doing without the support of the house. I've got some of my own hypotheses there, but we'll see. So that's over the next year. I'll be working on that PhD dissertation. So on the HK Ventures side, so selling my fourplex, I bought the fourplex with the idea that it would support the nonprofit, but with COVID and mainly with the COVID moratorium, and then squatters after that, tons of maintenance issues resulted. Wasn't able to bring in enough profit from the fourplex to support the nonprofit, which only would have needed about $12,000 a year to keep going. Just never got to that point of bringing in good solid cash flow. So shutting down the house is the conclusion, and selling the fourplex. So that way I can restart again in another state where I live now in Arizona. And here, with those funds, be able to do it properly, with the lessons learned, be able to get this going correctly. So that's pretty exciting news as far as closing the fourplex. Got two offers, or two showings today that we had on the house. So selling both house and fourplex. Expect to walk away with about $350,000 in profit. 200 of that from the fourplex will need to be put into either a 1031 exchange, which is where you take all the profit, put it into another property that's of a little bit higher value, of similar use, and you postpone or defer your capital gains that way. So normally you'd have to pay like a 26% or so capital gains, federal capital gains tax, but they will let you defer that if you transfer the funds into a larger property, just as a way of incentivizing the investors to continue providing housing and businesses, the real estate that's needed for businesses, and stuff like that. So that's kind of what that whole tax deferral program is about. As long as you're continuing to put it into something that's benefiting society as a whole, then we'll let you waive those taxes, an incentive. So I'm responding to that incentive. What else? I wanted to show you this computer setup. So over here. It's funny, it doesn't want to go. This computer setup, I've been waiting on this for a long time. It got destroyed when it was being shipped down from Oregon, where my cousin is a custom computer builder, and he built this thing to be a video editing machine monster, and it's a great computer, but it's got a glass case and it got destroyed on the way down from Oregon. And so it took a few months for UPS to find another case and replace whatever was inside that was broken and get it back up to where it needed to be. So I finally got it. It's pretty cool. I like that I can make the colors similar to my business logo, the blue. So that's pretty neat. And then over here, oh man. So the gimbal just wants to stay focused on me. That's interesting. Okay, well anyway, you can see the computers. Man. So I've got these three screens for this reason. So you can see this. It goes across all three screens. get like this. There we go. So got all three screens. So that's one Excel spreadsheet. It's it's an underwriting template. So this is where you put in all the numbers to decide if a multifamily commercial real estate purchase is going to make sense or not, and estimate what our returns will be. And this one I got for free from Lone Star Capital. So you can get your own underwriting template. You don't have to necessarily join an expensive mastermind group. Although I do recommend a mastermind group because just having that accountability, having the network that you can call on and access is worth its weight in gold and more so. So anyway, that's kind of what the computer is about. Pretty excited that I've got this 3-monitor display set up so I can have my underwriting template. I can have my T12s, which is your trailing 12 months of expenses. I can have my rent roll up and be looking at it all kind of at the same time and pulling numbers and plugging in to evaluate whether a deal is good or not. So if you have a deal, if you have an apartment complex you want to sell, or if you have one that you're looking at wanting to buy but you have no idea whether it would be a good purchase or not, send it my way. Send over the financials. I'm more than happy to sign a non-disclosure agreement, and I'll get that underwritten for you and let you know what I think, or what the numbers show anyway. So that's that. But that's about all I got for an update. Got this computer set up, got the offer on the fourplex, had some showings on the house. So have a great weekend, and happy Father's Day to the fathers.